So, how would you describe your childhood before 2008?
Now that I think about it, it just looks like a very happy place to me because I don't have a single bad memory from my childhood. And that might be because I have zero access to it now, or because it was actually perfect. I can't really tell you. I grew up in this beautiful town called Akhalgori. It was me, my two of my brothers, and my parents, and we had a very big house, and we lived with my aunt and my grandparents. And then next door lived my another grandparents and my cousins, and we spent most of our time together in either one house or the other, so it was like 25 people in the house all the time. My mom's side is like has lived there for a very very long time. I don't even remember how many generations in. One day I wake up and I have this horrible stomachache. I can't even walk. The pain is really really strong, and I call my mom, and she um, talks to the doctors from the clinic in my town, and they say that they can't really do anything about it, and I have to go to the city. We went, and the doctor that I saw told me that I had to get a surgery that day, and I had to remove my appendix. The doctor that was gonna do my surgery, he was coming that day from Gori, and Gori is the city that got severely bombed by the Russian forces. So he said that he was really tired, and he would much rather do the surgery the day after. So we had to stay the night and get the surgery the second day. The second day, Russian army enters the town where we were from and where we were supposed to be that day, and my stomach aches just stopped. We had already lost the war by the time they reached my town. So we never, it was just, they just started making so-called borders, and that was it. And they just forced people to leave. A lot of my friends were actually hiding in the forests. People got panicked so much they had no idea what to do. After Gori was bombed, everyone thought that they were gonna bomb our town as well. At some point, we thought that they had just bombed the region, but then the Russian army was gonna leave. But then when they actually started making physical borders, and they started restricting entrance in the region, that was when we actually started realizing that it was like more serious than what we expected it to be. And after a few months, Georgians started building a refugee town, and that was already a point when we were like, okay, like we might have to stay here for a few months. But at the time, no one expected that it would last for so long. It was very clear for my parents that weren't gonna grow up around Russian soldiers. That was not even a choice. I remember, like, for me, it was something very temporary. And I think, like, the time when I actually realized that it was not temporary and it was gonna last for a very long time was when I turned 15, 16. At the time when I was 8, I was just surprised that the entire family was gathering together in Tbilisi. I felt very secure, but also I felt tension for a very long time. The fact that my dad wasn't with us, and then he had to walk for like kilometers to reach the place where we were. My grandparents never came with us, so they stayed there for a few more years. And it was very strange for me to live in this like divided way, because our families were never divided that way, and that idea of borders actually dividing families and like not allowing people to see each other as they used to, that was very strange.
Right.
I'm realizing that like we all have this idea of true happiness. For me, that goes to Akhalgori. So for me, there's no idea of true happiness without me being able to access my childhood. And yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that I'm willing to do everything for.